Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm trying the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid filters. I have the two lightest shades here. I'm also going to be comparing it to similar products from Charlotte Tilbury, the Hollywood Flawless Filter in the lightest shade One Fair, and the lightest shade from the Auric Glow Lust Morganite, and it's gonna be fun. Also, at the end, I'm going to show you application and swatches of other e.l.f. products I picked up in my order. So let's get into it. Brief description of these Halo Glow liquid filters. This has a good amount of product in here, 1.06 fluid ounces, 31.5 milliliters. There's 8 shades of these. These babies are $14 a piece. Pretty good value for how much product you get. This is basically the size of most foundations, maybe a little bit more. The applicator is a giant doe foot applicator. A lot of product comes out with these guys, and this is what the top looks like. These are glass bottles. Very pretty packaging, I have to say, for e.l.f. I like the peach tone cap and the simplistic glass packaging. I think it looks pretty glossy. So at the time of filming, shade number 2 is sold out, but shade number 1 is still in stock. I'm going to show you guys some swatches, just to be warned. A lot of product comes out at once, and these are pretty high coverage filters, so you need just a little bit and you get tons of coverage. So they look very thick, and that's because they kind of are. So what I would apply to the face is much different than what I apply in the swatch. So I'm going to go ahead and show those now. So the top shade, in case you guys didn't catch that, is shade 1. The shade below that is shade 2. Shade 2 is slightly darker. Actually, I wouldn't say slight. It's quite a bit darker than shade 1. And just a note on the shade. So shade 1 looked to be a little bit dark online, and when I got it, you can even see in the bottle, it's dark for kind of a highlighty, glowy product for someone with cool tone fair skin. I just have to say, it's just from swatches, not applying it yet. I'm disappointed that this is not lighter. If I had to choose, I would definitely want them to come out with a lighter shade for us light skin tone folks, like really light. This is a little bit warm and a little bit too deep for my preferences. I didn't really need to pick up the second shade, but because this product was not that much money, I thought, well, maybe I can have a glow product that can kind of act as a glowy, bronzy product and kind of warm up the skin, which I think this product will do, but I will apply both today so you guys can see what they look like. But first, let's get into comparison swatches of the two products I mentioned, which is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. The label has worn off. I've had this product a while. I have the shade 1 Fair. And then, as I mentioned, I have Morganite in the Auric Glow Lust. These are pretty much all the same product, but they all, to me, have different luminosities, different textures. They're all pretty much doing the same thing. These two have very similar price points. These are much more affordable, and even if I buy 2, it's less than the cost of either one of these. So very interesting. Love e.l.f. I'm going to show you the swatches of the Charlotte Tilbury and Fair and Auric and Morganite right now. See in the swatches probably right away that these colors are a lot lighter. There's also a difference in coverage. So the Charlotte Tilbury, comparing all of these, is the lightest sort of filtery coverage. To me, you get more of a light, shimmery, barely there, lit from within glow with the Hollywood Flawless Filter. It is a classic, but to me, like, I like this product, but it's not something I think about using regularly because it's so subtle. It doesn't make a huge difference with my makeup unless I'm layering it on top of my foundation. Mixing it in with my foundation or putting it underneath, I don't really see it that well. I can only really see this if I put it on top sort of as a liquid highlight, and it's very subtle and beautiful and gives you a gorgeous glow. So I think it accomplishes the glow aspect. I wouldn't really say it provides coverage of a filter, but you can use a ton of this product and probably get that effect, but kind of using the same amount of product, even layering this up, the coverage is on the lighter side with this one. With the Auric, it has tons of coverage. The shimmer per square inch is higher, like there's a lot of glow in this one. It's very much high impact, and I would say the most glowy and shimmery out of all of the products. And the texture of it is more on the thicker serum side, and I would say the e.l.f. is closer to Auric, but not quite as thick as the Auric texture. But this product I like to put all over my face underneath foundation to get that lit from within glow that you can actually see and notice. I don't use this product quite on top of my makeup as a highlight because it's pretty impactful. So I like to put it on underneath or mix with a foundation because I feel like it really shows up in that way, and I like the way it looks. But there's a lot of sparkle and bounce in here. Some people don't like that amount of shimmer, so it's definitely a preference of what you like. Also, this is more on the thicker side, but I would say it gives a good amount of coverage. I would say the e.l.f. probably gives the most coverage though, in terms of that blurring filter effect. At least from the swatches, that's what it looks like to me. But the shimmer level, the little shimmer particles, are sort of in between the Charlotte Tilbury and the Auric. It's not super sparkly, but not so subtle when you blend it out. Like, you can see it. But as I said, a little bit goes a long way. A lot of product comes out with this applicator. It almost dumps it on. So you want to be careful about that. Like, you don't need a ton of this, and you definitely might want to spread it around. So this guy, I would say the biggest difference with these is that the shades are not comparable to the other two browns I just mentioned. These are not, this isn't light enough, so it's kind of hard to do a two shade comparison. I wouldn't say there's a match. These are not, the lightest, the fair one shade is not a match to these other lightest shades in the other brands. So I hope that e.l.f. expands their shade range. Just so you guys know, I believe, so Charlotte Tilbury has 12 shades of this, which is a lot. Their full size is $44, so it's a lot more money. I don't know that it's totally worth it. They do have a mini size that's 15 milliliters. No, 18 ounces, 5.5 milliliters. That is $15, but they only have 4 shades in the mini size at Sephora at least. The Auric has a lot of shades as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Auric also has 8 shades and e.l.f. has 8 shades. The Auric is $45, so $1 more than the Charlotte Tilbury. And as I said, the e.l.f. is $14. So the shade range could be better, but for the price, I think a lot of people will probably get the lightest one to work, but I'm sure a lot of people will also complain that it's too dark. So lots of talk about comparisons there. Hopefully you find that helpful. Let's get into applying. All right, so I'm gonna do one side with shade 1 and the other side with shade 2. I might differ on where I place these because this one's a little bit darker. So I'll go ahead and put shade 1 on this side. Not really having any other makeup on my face. We'll try this as like an experiment to see what this looks like on bare skin without any makeup, and then we can see what this looks like on top of makeup as well. So here's the applicator. I will say a lot of product deposits in the head of this little applicator. It's sponge tip, but it's just super huge. So I'm gonna do a little tap here, and that's a lot of product. So I'm gonna rub it out. This feels very serum like. It's on the thicker side, like I mentioned, but not as thick as the Auric. I will say this does provide a good amount of like blurring filtery coverage. This is one of those interesting makeup products that it's not a foundation, it's not a coverage product, but it does kind of give you that same effect without a lot of color, or it has some color, because you can see like it's covering up my skin and kind of making it look a little bit more even, but it, you know, it has a ton of glow to it too. So this kind of product isn't for everyone, and I don't know how many people wear this kind of thing by itself. I feel like a lot of people wear makeup and foundation with this, but it's super pretty. Even if you don't want to wear makeup with it, I think it's worth kind of having in your collection to kind of experiment with, because the Charlotte Tilbury has been around for years now. It's not really new anymore, but I think it gives a pretty effect. May not be for everyone. I mean, you guys can see the difference. This side looks better. But that's the lightest shade. I mean, even though it's not as light as I'd like, it's still really pretty. So I think I can wear this color. But that's that shade, and that's without any makeup on. Let's try shade number 2. As you can see, did not need a lot. I might put this more as like a bronzer, so I might put this more like right here. I don't know. Well, it's all in the same area pretty much. We'll see. I mean, I'm gonna put makeup on over it anyway. It's not super dark, but definitely deeper than shade 1. So this is shade 2. I think I prefer shade 1, but I don't mind this shade. I don't know, I think there's just more reflect on the lighter side. Anyway, that's what that looks like with no other makeup on. Alright, so I took some close-up shots of what this looks like on my face. I'll go ahead and show that now before we get into application. My skin doesn't look so great, but you guys can see what it looks like on bare skin. So let's get into some foundation. I'm gonna apply this off camera, but I just want to tell you what I'm gonna put on my face. This is the Typology Tinted Serum Type 1 Fair. This is a really lightweight foundation, light coverage, that I want to apply over this and then apply the Halo Glow on top. So I'll go ahead and apply this off camera. All right, here we are. Put on that tinted serum, and I also put on the tinted concealer from the same brand in shade 1, Typology. Just a little bit under the eye and did a little bit of spot concealing. It's a really lightweight, light coverage concealer. So this was a very minimal foundation. It's not much coverage at all, but it evens out my redness and skin tone. I really like it for summer. And I applied it everything with my fingers. So love that. So let's get into applying both of these shades on top of this to see what it looks like as a highlighter on top of foundation. So shade 1 again on this side. It's gonna be real careful about putting a ton there. Using my fingers to blend this out kind of in the areas that I would highlight, which is on the upper plane of the cheekbone here. That is really pretty. Honestly, I think I like this shade a lot. Let's go on to shade 2 over here. Little dot there. No, okay, now we got some product. I don't know that this is deep enough to be like a glowy bronzy product. it's not quite that level of color. I think it could still work. It's a little bit more neutrally yellow on me, to be honest. And it's showing up that way more so on camera. In person, it does not look as yellow, but definitely a bit deeper. Not a fan of this color. I'm not sure when I would use it, to be honest, just because it's not deep enough to be a bronzy sort of product for me, but it's also not light enough to be a highlighter of my preference. I probably won't return this, but if I could, I would. I mean, I bought it online. I'm not going to go through the process of returning this online. It's $14, but yeah, I probably would if I could. This shade I'm liking a lot more, but you know, if you're kind of a little bit deeper than me, this one might really work for you. So all right, so I'm going to take up some close-up photos of these products on top of foundation. Liking these products. I definitely like shade 1. I do wish it was a little bit lighter, but I think the shade will work for me, even though it's not my ideal color. I think it does add a lot of beautiful filtery effects. Now, I'm not going to put powder on top of this, just to give you guys an update on the wear time and what it looks like at the end of the day. I have a feeling I'm going to put this product in my rotation regularly, at least for a little while, because it looks so pretty, and I do feel like it does a bit more than the Charlotte Tilbury. I won't say it does more than the Auric, just because this even gives even more shimmer and glow. It's more on the extreme end, and the shade is a better match for me, but it's still really pretty. It's still easy to use, enjoyable product, at least first impressions. If it turns my makeup into goo at the end of the day, then that won't work, but I will let you guys know what I think at the end of the day. But this is so pretty. All right, I wanted to do a quick check-in on this Halo Glow filter from e.l.f. It's been about 4-ish hours, a little bit more than that, since I applied it. I did end up just taking off my eyeshadow because I'm about to film another video, but I left the complexion as is. I didn't powder, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you a close-up video of my face so you guys can see that there's still some glow going on. Okay, so I'm gonna look close up just to kind of see what I think. I think there are a little bit of like foundation issues. My oil is kind of coming through, the foundation breaking down a little bit. It's not a very heavy foundation, so that kind of stuff is expected with a tinted serum. But the glow product, it's still somewhat visible. I think the amount of glow has died a little bit, but you kind of get that sheen. You can still see that sheen. I haven't been sweating, but my oils have kind of broken through. I would have preferred to set my face with a powder because that's what I normally do. I don't like to just go out there without a powder. And I think it might have lasted underneath the powder a little bit longer, but it's still decent. We still have that glow residue happening. I wouldn't say it gives you so much coverage it's gonna last you 6-8 hours. It's been 4, and you know, the amount of dewiness has died. I'm okay with that. Some of you may want that dew to last forever. I don't think it's quite possible with a liquid product. It should dry down. It should die down a little bit, but I am shiny on my forehead. So I don't know, it might be just the shine from my face, but my forehead tends to be shinier than my cheeks. So this looks like it's from the product, and it's pretty. I'm digging it. I'm gonna keep using it in other videos, so stay tuned. All right, let's get into some of the other e.l.f. products I picked up in my order. Got a lot of makeup related things, a couple of skincare type of stuff. So let's get into it. Let's get into the skincare first. So this was, I believe, one of the free things that came with my order. There's 3 hydrogel eye masks, under eye masks. These are single-use masks. They come in a nice box like this, and this is what the packaging looks like. I'm not going to open these up, but you guys should let me know if you've tried these from e.l.f. and what do you think? Are they worth it? Are they cool? Do you like them? These have purified water, seaweed extract, and licorice. Hopefully at the very least they're at least temporary hydrating this area. It says it's supposed to plump, moisturize, and soothe the under eye area for smooth looking skin. It says you leave them on 10 to 15 minutes. So it's cool that they threw these into my order. At least I think these are free. I mean, maybe I picked them up. Sometimes I don't know what I order. Anyways, eventually I will have to let you know what these are like. Next thing I got, I know I definitely didn't pick this up. This is a small size of the Holy Hydration Keep Your Balance Toner with hyaluronic acid, witch hazel, and aloe. This is from e.l.f. Skin. It seems like they really have come out with a lot more skincare, which surprises me a little bit. I'm not sure how many of you are using skincare from e.l.f. Some of the products are actually pretty pricey. I think I saw a mask for $25 from e.l.f., which I'm like, why? It says this is for dry, oily, and combination skin, so pretty much everybody except for normal. The witch hazel I know can be irritating. I'll just do a little demo of what this texture looks like. I'm not gonna put it on my face because I already have all my skincare on. But in case you guys really want to know what this is like, what it smells like, can't really smell anything yet, but this is a very watery, liquidy toner. You guys see it running down my arm. Ooh, it smells like alcohol. Okay. Keep your balance. So I imagine this isn't really hydrating, but maybe more, I don't know the right word, clarifying, purifying, kind of like a sea breeze kind of product, but not as bad, not as stinging. It doesn't really feel hydrating in the hands, but because of that witch hazel is in there, I imagine this, and it says keep your balance, I imagine this is probably for more acne prone, congested skin. I probably won't be really using this just because I have a lot of toners that probably have better ingredients in this for clearing things up and exfoliating. And I have plenty of options in this area, but it might be good to throw something like this in my travel bag because it's so small, and if I do end up kind of breaking out a little bit, this might be a good option. I can't really speak to if I like it or not. But that's it for skincare. I did pick up this primer because it's one of their best sellers, and I have tried the putty primer in the past. I thought it was a decent dupe for Tatcha. And I was reviewing the e.l.f. website last night, and I realized e.l.f. is like a pretty good dupe brand. Like, they look at what's popular out there and they try to copy it. To me, the Power Grip primer is a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip primer, which I actually have never purchased. I've tried it in store. It does feel very tacky and gel-like, and this is what this one is like. And this one is also similar. It says apply evenly to the face using your fingertips. Allow 30 seconds to set before applying makeup. So this is a green gel, and it feels a little bit strange. This is not the typical primers that I use. Mine are more moisturizing and serum-like, but this feels like it would help out, keep your makeup like attaching to your face, or help with makeup attached to your face. It's a little bit sticky and tacky, but that's kind of what you want for a primer that's going to help your makeup last. So I am going to put this on my face. See what it's like. Oh, it feels so odd. So I have skincare and sunscreen on, and it's been hours since I've applied it, so it's really sunk in. Oh, so tacky. That's not a bad thing though. I know I look really red, but my skin just turns red from touching it. Okay, so that's the primer. I will apply some foundation later. We'll see if it helps or not. But this product is 0.8 fluid ounces, 24 milliliters. So less than an ounce for the primer. I believe I'll have to look up pricing on this guy, but very affordable. Okay, I got the details of my order. I looked online. The last time I ordered from e.l.f. was in May 2019. So it's been a while, and last time I purchased anything was the putty primer, the camo concealer, and the flawless finish foundation. I actually remember liking all of those products. The primer was 10 bucks and it's out of stock right now. So seems like continues to be a really popular product. The toner is free. So the Keep Your Balance toner, the full size of it, is $8. So I don't know that it's really gonna do a whole lot. Maybe it will dry you out a little bit with the witch hazel, but it's $8, so even if you wanted to try it, it's not like a whole lot of money that you're wasting. But this is the tiny size. You get a larger size. You can order a larger size. Okay, so the primer, $10, as I said, pretty good deal with that. Especially it comes with a good amount of product. All right, so I applied that. Feels a little less sticky now that it's set in. I did get another eyeshadow, and this came free. So I've tried a couple of other ones of these. I was not impressed, but people seem to love these for the $3 size. This is the bite-sized eyeshadow, Cream and Sugar. I will go ahead and throw up swatches of these, and I'll try to apply this today for you guys. Okay, so swatches are pretty decent. I just know we'll see what this looks like today. This particular one, to me, is a good dupe for Natasha Denona Mini Nude. Just the layout and even the packaging, except you're missing one shadow. There's no duochrome in here, but it's pretty close. And then I got a No Budge shadow stick. This is a product I've never tried from e.l.f. before, and this is in the shade Champagne Crystal. To me, this is a good dupe for the Laura Mercier Caviar sticks or the Beautay sticks, which I can't remember the name of, but I thought this was like a really pretty, easy to apply, smooth eyeshadow stick. I don't always love these type of products, but for the price, I think this is something to try if you're into those. I will use this today as well. This is $5, and I think this packaging is actually very close to the Laura Mercier and the Beautay ones. It's like shiny chrome packaging, so another kind of a dupe product, but it's really pretty. I'll go ahead and show you the swatch of this up close. All right, moving on to the lip product that I picked up. This is one of their best sellers. This is the Glossy Lip Stain, which I don't know that I have a lot of formulas like this where it starts out as a gloss and ends up as a stain. The color I picked, I'm not sure is gonna be so great as a stain. This is Pinkies Up, and it's this tiny little packaging here. I'll try to show you the box. Here's the box of it. And this is kind of a nudie pink. This is 3 milliliters of product, so not a lot. It's just very compact packaging. I actually think it looks pretty luxe for what it is, but this is what it looks like. And I don't know, I'll go ahead and throw it on the lips. Ew. This looks much different on the lips than when I swatched it, but it feels really good. I wouldn't say it's quite glossy feeling. Feels a little bit of a different texture to me. Almost like a liquid lipstick cream right before it dries, if that makes sense. I don't know if I love this color on me. I'll go ahead and show you the swatch, and the first swatch is this, just straight up on my arm. And then I show a swatch of it wiped away, like what the stain actually looks like, and it does stain the arm, but I'm not sure that this color is gonna really show up as a stain on my lips. But I mean, it feels pleasant enough. I think the colors, it's okay. I think I would have picked a different color if I had the option. The glossy lip stain is $6, so pretty good value for a different kind of a formula. It's not like a basic lip gloss that just disappears after a while. Like, you will get a stain from it, but if you really want a stain that's gonna show up, you get a deeper color. And the last thing I picked up is a new mascara. This is the Big Mood Mascara, I believe. Again, one of their best sellers. And this is $8. Love a cheap mascara. Now, the brush is really huge, very luscious. And I don't know if I've ever bought a brown lipstick mascara. I've bought color mascaras and tons of black, but never deep brown. So we're trying out a deep brown mascara, and you know, the price is right if I don't like it. But yeah, we're gonna try that out too. I do want to show you what the rest of the makeup that I got looks like. I want to do an application with you. I did put on the primer, you guys saw. Now I have the makeup on, I have the Halo Glow on. I think the primer did something good with my forehead because the foundation just kind of smoothed on. So I'm gonna keep trying this and give you more developed thoughts and with other foundations, but I like what I see so far. I mean, this finish looks really pretty. So let's move on to the eye stuff, and then I'll let you know what I think about this guy so far, because it has surprised me. You guys can see the tint it left behind. But let's get into the eye stuff. So I got the Bite Size Eyeshadow Cream and Sugar and the Champagne Crystal No Budge Shadow Stick. So we're gonna use both of these. So I just cleaned all my brushes, but I have a few that I haven't really used. So I'm gonna use, this is from Luxie. This is the Small Tapered Blending Brush 231. And go into this e.l.f. palette here. I mean, I love how compact this is. I mean, you can't get any smaller than this. You guys see the size of my hand? It's small. So these kind of colors I hate because they don't do a lot for my lid other than kind of get rid of redness and veins, which some people will really enjoy. I don't mind a veiny eyelid, but you know, maybe I'll change my mind when I get older. But this is what it does. It kind of just blanks everything out. Gives you that real no makeup look, just really fresh eyelid skin. I mean, as a swatch, I was not impressed with this color, but you know, applying it to the lid, it does the trick. It kind of blanks everything out. I'm gonna go right into the deepest shade and get into the crease here. Take just a little bit. So this is not like the easiest thing to blend. But it's not the worst either. I will say it's pigmented, so at least we have that going. You know, taking a little bit of work. It's also like a pretty deep shade for me. Pretty deep chocolate. I would just say make sure you don't put on too much. I might have applied a bit too much here, but it's kind of looking a little bit patchy. I'm not using a primer, but it's not like the smoothest, easiest application of a matte shadow I've ever had. But I think if you have some experience with eyeshadow and the formulas these days, you can get a shadow like this to work, especially just a brown color like this. But I wouldn't say it's going to replace a deep chocolate shade you already have in your collection that you love. It's just okay. Let's go into this bronzy shade here, just in the middle of the lid. Not mind-blowing or anything. I mean, it's okay. It's doing the job. It's a pretty basic formula. I would say for $3, it's decent. It's pretty good. Actually, it's pretty great for the price. Definitely had worse eyeshadows for more money, so can't really complain. It's doing what it needs to do. Could it be shinier? Sure. But I think a lot of people could get some use out of this color. All right, so let's take the lightest shade. Try to use a smaller brush here. And don't forget, I do have the shadow stick, so we might be like kind of going over the same areas with both products here. So I have quite a bit on my brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit. The chunks in here, the shimmer particles in this one are pretty large, so I'm a little bit afraid of fallout. And this color is pretty light compared to the rest of the shades, and also somewhat silvery. Not as much in the glittery family, more of just like a white shimmer with a lot of silver in it. Some of you may like that. Some of you may wish it was more warm tone shimmer. But again, not bad. It's not like my favorite light shimmer shade for the inner corner, just because the shimmery chunks are a little bit large and that makes my eyelid kind of look more textured. So I need something a little bit smoother, maybe a little bit of finer shimmer particles, but at the end of the day, I'll throw on some mascara and you probably won't notice the difference too much between this and something higher, much higher end. I think this is a decent palette. I got it for free. Otherwise I wouldn't have put it in my cart, just because I've tried other palettes from this bite-sized collection. I wasn't really impressed, but this one I think is a good formula. This is my favorite of the ones I've tried so far. So let's get into that shadow stick. As I said, the packaging is so similar to much more expensive products. I'm gonna go in the inner corner here. So this is much more warm tone gold, which I actually think goes better with the little palette here. I'll put a little bit up here just for fun. I normally wouldn't because this is pretty glittery. But I'm just gonna blend this out just a little bit with the finger. You don't really need a brush with this guy, which is awesome. Just blend that out on the brow bone a little bit. I will say that this blends out a little bit more sheer than some of the higher end products. Like, it looks concentrated, but when you actually blend it out, it's not like as shiny. And I was able to wash it off quite easily, so I don't really think it promises. It says no budge. I'm not sure that it is actually waterproof. And a formula that avoids smudging and creasing. The included sharpener. Oh, there's a sharpener. So it doesn't say waterproof, it just says no budge. So I think it just kind of dries down. At least that's the hope. Oh, there's a sharpener on here. Cool. That's pretty good for the price. Get a little sharpener. I don't think the other brands had one that I remember. That is that. I mean, it's like fast shimmer, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure how long it's gonna last before it dries out. But I'm curious what you guys think of products like this. Have you bought other colors of this formula? Let me know. All right, so I'm gonna try this mascara, the last eye product I picked up. This brush is freaking huge and it's brown, so let's try this out. I'm not gonna apply any other eye makeup or eyeliner. I'm just gonna go in with mascara, this brush. Giant. All right, here we are. Ooh, I feel like I'm gonna get this on my eyelid pretty easily. Sometimes when you first try a mascara, it's not great. I feel like it's taking a lot of passes to get product on my lid, on my lashes, but maybe it's just because I just opened it. It's to be a lot of product on the brush, but not a lot is transferring. So I got some volume there. I wouldn't say there's much length. So this is Big Mood. Let's read. It says mega volume and lifting. So it doesn't promise lengthening. Oh, it does say lengthening on the back. So it does everything. Has a jojoba oil. Hourglass brush, 250 bristles, lifts, separates. Bigger, intense, bolder look. Staying power. Apply mascara starting the root of the lashes in a zigzag motion, working right up. Alright, Big Mood. I like the purple packaging. I'll probably just need to do more coats later. That's pretty much maybe 1.5 coats. Kind of a lot of product. Let's go to the other side. So what do I think about this deep brown color? It looks pretty much black, I think, from far away, but it's up close. It's slightly softer. Maybe I need like a medium brown to really get like a much softer look. When you have like lighter hair and light skin, sometimes a black mascara can make you, I don't know, look older for some reason, or just a little more harsh and edgier, especially if you do like a lot of mascara or even a fake lash. Like black is like a lot, especially if your makeup's pretty natural otherwise. So I thought about the brown. I don't know if any of you guys regularly buy brown mascara. A lot of brands don't offer anything but black. Light brown is my actual lash color. I feel like this mascara is taking a lot of work to get where I want to be. All right, I feel like that took quite a bit of effort to get to this point with this mascara. I'm gonna work with it. I don't want to give you like an opinion on it yet, but there's some things I liked about it. The bristles felt really soft and cushy against my lashes. I can't tell you how many times a stiff bristle or stiff brush on a mascara actually hurts my eyes to apply it. It's just kind of rough, and when you're, you know, kind of going through the lashes, it just kind of pulls at them. It's not very gentle. This feels very gentle. I will say, because of the size of the brush, trying to give you that volume, you're more likely to get mascara on your lids and on your face. It's just harder to control when things are that big, especially if you have short little lashes like me. I did feel like I had to go through the lashes many times to get to this point, which is just, it's got good volume. I wouldn't say it really does much for length. I don't mind the dark brown though. It's not quite as harsh as the black, so I'm digging that, but I will keep using this guy. Let's get into the last product I picked up, which is this glossy lip stain, Pinkies Up. So I applied it a little earlier with you guys, and I didn't think it would be a good color to have a stain, but it's actually a lot deeper than I thought. It's more of like a pinky or a reddish brown than a pinkish brown. After the gloss part wears down, this is what the stain looks like. I'm gonna reapply a little more because I got some foundation on my lips, but it applies this color. It's almost like a magic trick. So it applies this color and then it dries down to that deeper red stain color, which is very interesting. So what you get when you first put it on, it's not gonna quite look like that. You guys kind of see the ombre that it does. So the lighter color is the color when it's wet, and then the part around my the perimeter is like the color that it stains. A very weird product. You think it'd be the same color kind of consistently from beginning to end. Not really the case, and I wouldn't say this is pink. So, best-selling product, but very interesting. So I'm gonna do a close-up shot of the final look, and I will return with my final thoughts. Alright, so hopefully you found the close-up shot a little bit helpful. I think the halo filter is a good purchase. I do wish the shade range gets expanded, but even so, shade 1 I do think works well enough. I will say, looking in this light versus like right up against the window in natural light, I do feel like this would look better with maybe some powder or more coverage foundation. You know, the filtering does a nice effect, but my skin, you know, in the sun, in the very exposed light, I can see a lot of redness, and I just think like it does kind of exaggerate pores and texture a little bit, even though it does kind of give a nice filtering effect. All of those issues are still there, and some people might feel like this exaggerate those issues a little bit, so you might want to pair it with a little bit more coverage foundation so those texture issues don't come up as much. Just gonna put that out there. It's all preference. Whatever you think looks good is fine. I mean, I think this is good enough. I'm not super picky about making my skin look perfect all the time, but some people may want this out of this product, and they may feel like, well, it actually makes my skin look worse, but you have to have the right kind of coverage, I think, to go with it and make it really work for you. But overall, I think it's nice. I would try to find this in a store and see if, and at least look at the bottle to see what you think is gonna work for you. The shade isn't too far off from the color in the bottle. It's a little bit lighter, but it's, you know, looking at Charlotte Tilbury, you can tell this is lighter. These are lighter, and these are better matches, but this one, it's darker, but it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that far off. So I would recommend trying it. If you don't want to spend money on these other products, definitely try it. No risk in that. I mean, if you have no makeup budget, obviously not worth it. I mean, this product is kind of a nice to have in terms of like core makeup essentials. I don't think you need a glowy filter product, but some people feel like it's an essential to have something like this. I don't. I rather have like a powder highlighter than something like this, but it's pretty. It's, you know, things like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter have become core products for a lot of people. So I don't know. I guess it's nice that they have a good dupe out there. Some people find it better or worse than these. I think they're all sort of different finishes. It just depending on what you're looking for. This does give a very filtery, blurring kind of effect. So does the Auric. If you want to save some money, try this one. Okay, so on to the other products that I picked up. What do I think is worth it? What's nice? I mean, for $3, this is worth trying. I got a decent eye look out of it. I also like the eye stick if you want to pick up both. I mean, this shade and this champagne one are a little bit redundant. I would probably prefer the stick over this one just because it looked a little bit better. But this is a good dupe for the Natasha Denona Mini Nude, I would say. It's not totally a match, but the packaging, the size, same sort of color story there. The primer I actually like, but I don't know how it's gonna work with other foundations. It worked pretty well with this tinted serum, so I will have to keep you updated on this guy. But for 10 bucks, it's a different formula than I'm used to, and it's nice to try. This lip stain is so different. It doesn't seem pink to me. It's actually kind of a berry red, so not quite what I thought. It starts out like a light pink and goes to this color. It's kind of color changing. So when you go from the gloss and it wears down to the stain, two different colors. So a little bit strange. I don't mind this color. It's not my favorite though. So maybe if there's other ones available, you can see them in the store. Maybe you can see what they look like on the skin before you buy. But this was like what, $5 or $6, so not bad for a different kind of a lip product. All right guys, that is it for my e.l.f. video. I think there is a lot of promising products in here, not like a complete 100% hit in my opinion. I don't feel like you have to get really any of these products, but I'm happy to see a pretty good dupe for Charlotte Tilbury out there available now. So let me know if you plan on picking it up. If you've already picked it up, what do you think? What do you think of these Halo Glow filters? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.